blocking and guarding the path from all that might come from the north. The sides of the cramped structure were flush with the steep drop either side of the ridge, and a timber palisade lined the top of the walls, part shielding the legionaries stationed on its battlements. Thracia saw no movement out there, nothing apart from rippling pools of water on the track. And beyond a half-mile, he could see little, the bluish haze and the mountains in the north obscuring the twisting ridge path. But this lack of movement gave him no comfort. From the corner of his eye, he could see a grey-black form lying down in the valley, the broken body of a Goth, dead for over a fortnight, white bone jutting from the putrefying flesh. It's only a matter of time till they come at us again. He tried to calm himself, glancing up at the pleasant summer sky. Breathe, he told himself, filling his lungs. We'll smell them before we see them, a nervous voice said by his side. Thracia turned to see his comrade Barto, wearing a tight grin like a mask. He chuckled dutifully by way of reply, as did a few others, close by on the battlements. His fear under control, he returned his gaze to the north, and fished out a piece of salted mutton from the purse on his belt. Chewing on this would lift his spirits further, he reckoned, but his hand only got to within a few inches of his lips, when his eyes locked onto something. A shuddering bush, just where the path on the ridge melted into the haze and disappeared behind a rocky peak crowned with a cairn of silver boulders. The ice returned to his veins and his vision sharpened. There had been the briefest flash of something. Eyes? Steel. His heart thumped on his ribs, and he dropped the salt mutton over the wall as he readied to give the cry of alarm, when a pair of squirrels darted from the bush, tangled in some play fight, before racing on into another cluster of shrubs. He glanced at Barto, then both men's shoulders sagged with sighs of relief. And that was my last strip of mutton, Thracia chuckled. Fritigern, Iudex of the Tervingi and the Gothic alliance, ducked back behind the silver cairn. He cast a sour glare at the pair of rodents that had nearly betrayed his position, play-fighting in the bush by the path just below. Fritigern was taller and broader than most, though age had rendered him a little hunched and turned his once long fiery locks and beard mostly iron grey. Still, the handful of warriors crouched with him looked to him expectantly. These 5 were his keenest scouts, each lithe and fleet of foot. While he wore the garb of a warrior king, an iron helm, a fine baked leather vest, and dark blue robes and a cloak, these scouts were barefoot and bare-chested, wearing only trousers and armed solely with daggers. And how they had proved their worth by getting him this close to the damned fort, unseen. No Roman alarm call had been sounded, he realized. The legionaries had seen the rodents and nothing more. So he took off his helm and edged his head beyond the top of the cairn, looking to the fortified high point of the pass once more. The fort's northern wall mocked him with its presence. Like a great dam, it was still and obstinate, denying his hordes a route south. The serried rank of legionary steel looking on from the battlement jutted like fangs, fin-topped intercaesar helms, spears, mail vests, and bright shields. A century, he thought, with maybe another 3 or 4 centuries in the neat, narrow lines of tents pitched in the limited space within the cramped fort. So few of them, he thought. So few, yet enough to stem the movements of my people. And but damn have I not tried to break through. Indeed, the front of the wall was scarred with sword cuts, studded with hundreds of Gothic arrow shafts, and stained with smoke and dark brown dried blood. The armies of his alliance had crashed against this blockade several times, yet each time they had been repelled, his men fleeing back along the ridge path to their camp north of the mountains. He slunk back behind the cairn and sighed. It had been this way for months now, ever since the Battle of Ad-Salices. The Romans had quickly realized the legions of Thracia could not defeat the Gothic alliance, nor drive it back across the river.